Jake's Views and Review for the 2020 General Legislative Session. I'm Senator Jake Anderegg. Well, and welcome to the last day of the General Legislative Session. It's been a unique session. This session in particular, we had a hard time getting our bills drafted. It was really weird. We had a couple of key attorneys retire or resign and take other positions just literally within a month of the general legislation session beginning. So we were a little behind the eight ball, but luckily we got all the bills that needed to get drafted got drafted. So we should pass fewer bills this session because of it, which is not a bad thing. I just want to take you through a couple of the more controversial bills and things that we did and see how it all went together. First is Senate Bill 364. This is the ultrasound abortion bill. This bill narrowly passed out of the Senate. Not a single female senator voted for it. That's got to tell you something. I ended up voting for it thinking that there was a provision in it that had an exclusion for victims of rape and incest. Come to find out the very next morning that it did not have those exclusions. So if the bill comes back in a conference committee, I will be voting no without those types of exclusions. So we're still waiting to see if that bill is ultimately going to pass and, pass with concurrence. We'll see. One of the other bills that's gotten a lot of news attention was Senate Joint Resolution 9. This is the Public Education Funding Constitutional Amendment. So what we're doing here is we're opening up the earmark, and we're going to allow for children's health services, the Medicaid portion of that, to be covered through the income tax. As part of that agreement, we got agreement from the UEA, the Superintendent's Association, the PTA, the State Board of Education. They did a big press conference on this yesterday, and it's going to be able to open up that earmark for us to be able to fund, items that are not traditionally education, but are education related when we're talking about the health of children. So that bill passed. So we'll see if we can get the constitutional ballot worked out here in the next month or so. We also had Senate Bill 39, my affordable housing bill, passed both the House and the Senate. Now it goes off to the governor for his final signature. That passed yesterday. Also, my Senate Bill 83, this is the voter registration information bill. We had about 8 different subs on this bill as we tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it until we finally got it to a point where it's still not a perfect bill, but it is much better than what it was, and this will still be able to provide full protections for people's voter information while at the same time allowing campaigns and candidates to be able to reach out to those that are likely voters that we need to be able to reach out to for the upcoming elections. So the last bill I wanted you to be aware of was Senate Bill 247. This was my rapid DNA processing authorization bill. Rapid DNA is the process by which you can take a swab from someone's big gulp at a crime scene and be able to process it to identify that person's DNA. If you've got 6 suspects, it helps you narrow who those potential suspects are for investigations, while at the same time protecting, preserving the CODIS database, the FBI database, so that we're not entering information that might be suspect. Anyhow, long story short, we got agreement between the Department of Public Safety, from the AG's office, and from the FBI on how this whole process can work in the state to help investigations and crime labs, forensic science. So that bill passed, so we're pretty excited. I just will say it's been a pleasure to serve you these last 4 years as your senator. I will be seeking re-election. You can go to my website at www.jakeforutah.com to learn more. You can always reach out to me at jandereg@le.utah.gov or on my campaign email at jake@jakeforutah.com. You can shoot me a text or call me at 801-901-3580. Follow me on Twitter at political_Jake or on Facebook at Jake for Utah. So for the 2020 General Legislative Session, this is Senator Jake Anderegg saying it's been a pleasure, and we'll catch you next time, and we'll catch you on the campaign trail.